apartment, and there's kind of a foyer, although I never really knew, to be honest, what foyer meant, but I think that this qualifies. I'm not really entirely sure what to do with this space yet, but it's where I put my shoes when I walk in, because I am a shoes off household. Nice mirror here. And I suppose that we could go in either direction, but I prefer to go, actually, wrong. I prefer to go this way first. This is my reading room, because that's pretty much all I do in here other than work out, which is why my pull-up bar is installed. So I guess it's a reading room slash gym. My office, which is a little bit of a mess. It's a little cluttered. I have this Michel Lamy poster that I got from the Rick Owens exhibition in Paris when I was there a few weeks ago, that I'm trying to get a frame for. Most of my personal projects and creative stuff I do in here, my desk, my laptop and stuff. This is my bedroom, where the magic happens. Just kidding. My wardrobe, all the same hangers, because I'm really anal about stuff like that. Fragrances over there, or the air conditioner. Oh, these right here, the first thing when I moved in that I put up on the walls were these two original Aphex Twin tour posters, one for when he was AFX, and then Cyro, two of my favorite Aphex Twin projects. That's Snoopy over there. I have this wall, which I regretfully haven't added to recently, but it's a little collage of postcards and train tickets and all different ephemera from my travels. Although I've been to a few places since putting it up and I haven't added anything new. So I gotta get on that. I keep a calendar, and I have this cool Frank Ocean Blonded poster with Jeremy Strong on it. I'm a big Succession fan, so, you know, Team Kendall.
Love Kendall.
Yeah, shout out Kendall. Here's my one of my two Brazilian cowhide rugs that are real. Shoes down here and such. I just got these actually. Runway sample helmet Lang boots.
Awesome.
From Peter Doe's winter season. I think it was fall 2024. They never produced these, and the sample is my size. So I got them. Pretty fucking sick. Haven't worn them yet. Still looking for the right occasion. I get a lot of really good natural light in here, so I hardly ever have to turn on any lights. All south-facing windows, which I love. Back through the entryway, I have a nice little bathroom over here, which is really sweet. And my favorite room is my living room. I spend the majority of my time in here. I have furnished it pretty piecemeal throughout the years, but I think the culmination of my vision is this room. This lamp over here, I actually stooped. This hotel in Chelsea was getting rid of it. They didn't have a lampshade for it, so they just threw it out on the street, but it worked perfectly fine, and I replaced the lampshade with this beautiful red drum, so it gives off this super warm light, especially at night, this really nice tone. These two chairs, I think they are IKEA, but Tobias chairs, that's what they're called. They still make these, although I haven't seen them in blue in quite a long time. My CD player, Panasonic CD stereo system with MASH, a 5 CD changer, bi-amp digital servo system. I've had this for a few years now. It's got a really cool digital display. The CD is the only part that worked, the CD player. The tape deck doesn't work, but I don't really give a shit because I don't collect tapes. This is my CD collection, of which there are a few gaps because I have a stack of favorites prepared here. The amount of CDs grows exponentially, so I've found myself running out of space. I've got a CD rack in the back over here that I intend to fill up to completion and then scratch my head when I realize I don't have space again. This plant, one of 3 that I have, actually one of 4 living plants in the place, I rescued when there was not a single leaf on it, and now she seems to be pretty healthy and happy. I've got this little guy down here. And this was actually my first. Her name is Valerie. And she's been with me through a lot. These two right here are African idol artifacts. You're supposed to tell them your wants, needs, and desires, and they're gonna help you get them. And you offer them a little something, so I have a little coffee for them right here. My kitchen, which I'm very happy with, although I have a white fridge, which I know is a faux pas for many, but I'm not gonna replace the fridge that the fucking place came with. I like to keep my place really neat, tidy, clean. Oh, that's my cat clock. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. And yeah, I mean, my range, nothing better than a gas range. I made some coffee this morning. I have a lot of really good counter space, which is good because I like to cook, and the preparation that goes into each dish often requires a lot of space and moving things from place to place. So I'm glad that I have the space to do that. Another Brazilian cowhide rug. This was the first thing I bought when I moved in. When I first started working for Acme Studios and I had like a little bit of money, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy a 6x6 Brazilian cowhide rug. And so I did. The coffee table I'm really happy with, really proud of finding. I forget the specific artist's name, but I know that it's called the amoeba table because it looks like a big amoeba. And as you can see, I have a lot of little accoutrements spread over it. I've been really into incense lately. I used to be a candle guy, but for some reason incense is doing it for me more these days. So here's some that I picked up from Aesop. And let's light that up. The scent du jour is sandalwood. Actually, it's got vetiver, bigusa, and sandalwood. Bigusa, is that right? Yeah, here I have a bunch of little and big art books, fashion mags, advertising catalogs. Some of my favorite stuff is in here. It goes through a lot of different ad work from the 90s, which is like, I have this fascination with the late 90s because I was born in 99. I was born December 30th, 1999, so I snuck into the 20th century, and I think as a result, I'm fascinated by everything to do with that period. Here's this Balenciaga Demna retrospective magazine that I picked up at his exhibition in Paris. Some more ad mags, this Miyake book. And right here I have Boys Don't Cry magazine, because I was a huge Frank Ocean fan. So I love the photography in here. I switch to a different page all the time. Yeah, I guess we can get into the CDs now?
Mm-hmm. Wow, that was awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so I've been tasked with showing you all my favorite CDs of my collection. So to get started, Portoris Heads, Dummy. Now the reason I selected this one, aside from it being a great album, is that it's actually the first CD that I bought that started this entire collection. I picked this up at a Housing Works thrift in New York for $1. One fucking dollar. And it jump-started this whole collection. Fantastic album. You gotta know this one. If you don't, you're probably living under a rock, or you're some other class of fucking moron. So, second up, I cheated a little bit. Best of Sade. Now, I cheated in the sense that I own all of Sade's records, but the thing about her music is that, well, actually, you know what? Let me take a small tangent. While Portoris Heads Dummy was the first CD I bought to jumpstart this collection, this has been something that I've wanted to do probably my whole life without knowing it. My dad was the biggest influence, is the biggest influence on my desire to collect music. I grew up listening to records constantly, vinyl records, which are his thing, and he's got thousands, literally thousands, with a much nicer setup than mine. But Sade's voice, the sultriness, the depth and passion, the beauty of her voice was something that I grew up listening to. And so my collection, no matter how wide spanning, would be incomplete without her music. Now, I didn't know which album I wanted to include because I love all of them and there are cuts on each album that I find to be quintessential to the listening experience. So I picked her Best Of record, which has got all of my favorite Sade songs on it. Your Love is King, Hang On To Your Love, Smooth Operator, Jezebel, Sweetest Taboo, Is It a Crime, Never As Good As the First Time, Love Is Stronger Than Pride, Paradise, No Ordinary Love, Like a Tattoo, Kiss of Life, Cherish the Day. Like, this has got everything. This is the Sade record, the quintessential one. Moving on. How could you not have Michael Jackson's Thriller in your collection and on your list? There's not much that needs to be said about this. I have Off the Wall, but you can't beat Thriller. Personally, my favorite Mike song is actually You Rock My World, which isn't on here. That's a later record, but the strength of Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, Thriller itself, come on. Wanna Be Starting Something, PYT, classic. Now, to take us down a different avenue, 9 Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral, my favorite 9 Inch Nails record, came to me at a time in my life where I felt not too dissimilar from what Trent Reznor was feeling at the time. And I think it was a dark place, but having this music to lean on and feeling acutely aware that I wasn't the only one, it helped. So, still a huge fan of 9 Inch Nails. Equally as dark, I have Kurt's Grand Finale. It's a Nirvana record recorded February 22nd, 1994. This is Kurt Cobain's last ever live performance before his death. I picked this up in Paris a few years ago. I had never seen it before. I held off on playing it for a long time though, because I felt that if I did, it would mean that, he was really dead. So I didn't want to do that. But it's good, it's good. The second most famous, but arguably equally talented, Janet Jackson, self-titled Janet. This is a 26 track album. A lot of it is like skits, but you don't get better than this. Like, it's hard. Like, you want this. The Way Love Goes, that's the way love goes. Throb. Please listen to Throb. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's one of the horniest songs ever recorded. Throb, Janet Jackson. Johnny Cash, live at Folsom Prison. Johnny Cash, legend, obviously in his field, but there's something so personal about this record. Hearing the inmates that he's performing for cheering and seeing themselves or hearing themselves in the trials and tribulations of Johnny Cash's characters, something really special about that. Kind of reminds you of the humanity that we often ignore or neglect in the incarcerated. So Folsom Prison Blues, Cocaine Blues, Busted, Joe Bean, really good record. Kind of foundational for me, Let Love In by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Wow, this is a good record. This has some incredible love songs on it, but they're really not necessarily depressing, but they show a side of love that leaves you emotionally distraught. Do You Love Me? Nobody's Baby Now? Lover Man? Red Right Hand, a lot of people know that one. Thirsty Dog, I Let Love In, oh my god, Lay Me Low. Pretty much every track on this is incredible. I can't say too much for Nick Cave as a person these days, but I will say this album, among the greats. I am a jazz head. I have a lot of Charles Mingus, John Coltrane, Dave Brubeck, Chet Baker. But my introduction to jazz was Miles Davis. So here I've got Birth of the Cool. I've got a lot of Miles actually. I've got Bitches Brew, Kind of Blue. I've got so much Miles. But Birth of the Cool, that early stuff, there's something very kinetic about it. Easy listening though, strangely enough. So Miles Davis, Birth of the Cool. I played the trumpet myself for a number of years actually, partly because I loved Miles Davis, although I was very bad. This one's for Memo, also for me though. Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses. This one's got Never Let Me Down Again. And my favorite Depeche Mode song, Strange Love. First Depeche Mode song I ever heard, and for me personally, it's the best. Music for the Masses. I love this record so much I might have 2 of it. I have, again, a lot of Depeche Mode. I've got Violator, I've got Songs of Faith and Devotion. I think I have like almost every Depeche Mode record here. But Music for the Masses is my personal favorite. Strange Love, please listen to that track, Never Let Me Down Again. That's good music. One of my idols, Prince, self-titled. I have a lot of Prince as well, but this one's my favorite. I Want to Be Your Lover, the opening track, is my favorite Prince song of all time. So upbeat and tender and really yearnful song too. And that outro, like the bass lick on that, fucking insane. Why You Gotta Treat Me So Bad, When We're Dancing Close and Slow, that's a horny fucking song. Prince is probably one of the kings of horniness, so. This one, I'm cheating again. This actually counts as one record. It's New Order's Substance, my favorite New Order album, but it's split onto 2 discs, so we're gonna count that as one. I was supposed to do 10, right? I was supposed to pick 10, but I ended up picking like 25. So, this counts as one though. Substance, Blue Monday, True Faith, I believe is on this. Yes, True Faith is on this. Thieves Like Us, Perfect Kiss, and my favorite New Order song, Procession, is on disc 2. Procession is my just fucking fantastic New Order. I have Joy Division, but New Order is way better than Joy Division.
What?
New Order is better than Joy Division.
Cut the camera.
No, fuck
That. That's
no,
crazy.
play, keep it rolling. New Order is better than Joy Division. Substance is proof of that. I also have Republic, but Substance is incredible. True Faith is, come on, Blue Monday. Like I said, I don't have to name all the tracks, but
I just feel like they're so different. So
yeah, they're different, but New Order is better. Yeah. Now this is a special one. This is a case where I wasn't necessarily picking best album or like best, because I have 2 copies of this, but this is my favorite of the 2 copies. This is an original promotional CD for Deftones' White Pony,
Shit.
which was sent out to radio stations.
What? You never told me about this.
So this is one of my pride and joy. I have the 20th anniversary edition as well that has the Black Stallion cut, which I usually tend to listen to this one more because that one is so old and delicate that it's kind of falling apart. But that is a promotional CD that they sent out to radio stations to promote the album.
You shit on me with that one.
Yeah, that was a crazy one, right? You weren't expecting that.
No, I was not. You were keeping that hidden for a reason.
Something else I've been keeping hidden for a reason, Doppler Effect, Gesamtkunstwerk. This is a crazy techno album. If you like techno, you will like this record. This has an incredible track list. I think their claim to fame is probably one of their songs. I think Superior Race was featured in Gaspar Noé's Climax from one of the dance scenes. But Doppler Effect's Gesamtkunstwerk, love that cover art, obviously. My favorite tracks on this one, Placiphilia. Placiphilia is really good. Porno Actress, also really good. Porno Viewer. Some provocative titles here, but really worth the listen. Not much else to say. If you haven't heard of Doppler Effect, check them out. Something that never fails to make me feel motivated, Jay-Z's The Blueprint. I model my life after Girls, Girls, Girls. So, as you can tell, it holds a special place in my heart. All I Need, really good on this too. The Ruler's Back and Takeover. That sample of The Doors on Takeover, really incredible. In keeping with my Latin roots, Willie Colon's Lo Mato, which translates to I'll kill him. And you'll see he's got a hostage on the full title of the record actually is Lo mato si no compra este disco, which means I'll kill him, this guy, if you don't buy this disc. So, really good record. I mean, I don't need to say too much about Willie Colon. I really love El Día de Suerte. That was probably the song I heard the most growing up. My dad really loved that song. I keep talking about him in past tense. He is alive. I'm just thinking about those memories. Yeah, the great Willie Colon record. A more recent pickup, but one that I think deserves a slot here. This is an original copy from '95 of Bjork's Post. Great fucking record. I think that Post gets lost in the shuffle of her work, her discography. It gets lost amongst the more weird sounding records. This one still has a very, I would say, contemporary sound to it. But don't sleep. Army of Me, Enjoy, I Miss You, those are some of her best songs, period. And they're on this album. I love the colors on this, of course. She looks phenomenal. I'm a pretty big fan of this album. So, of course, it was on the list. And I was very happy in Paris, again, when I was there a few weeks ago, to find an original copy like this, in the sleeve and everything. Now, this is going to shit on some people again. This is a promotional copy of Second Toughest in the Infants by Underworld. It says there, I believe, for promotional use only, not for sale. So this was also passed to radio stations. It doesn't even have a back sleeve, it's just the front. This was also given to radio stations to promote the album for release. This is an incredible album. I struggled with which Underworld record to include. I have, which I was just playing, which is loaded in the CD player right now. Born Slippy, the single, and then a couple other remixes and cuts. Underworld is fantastic in the world of dance music and electronic. I love the trance-like lyrics and the stream of consciousness kind of delivery. Just really good stuff. So I included them twice. Underworld, 100 Days Off. This is a great record. Mo Move, the opening track. Trim, really fucking good. Dinosaur Adventure 3D. It sounds like I'm just saying things, but Underworld, fantastic music. So this isn't a CD, or so it might seem. But actually this is, for all intents and purposes, the case for my copy of Frank Ocean's Blonde, which you can see right there. Boom. Boys Don't Cry magazine, which came out alongside or shortly thereafter Blonde's release. I also have Endless CD, DVD. I had the vinyl, but I sold that. And I have Channel Orange as well. So we've got the whole Frank discography for our purposes. But the assignment being my favorite CDs, although I think Endless is a better album than Blonde.
I agree.
I really love the presentation of the CD and how it came. So I'm including that. This thing's fucking huge, by the way. That is a big ass book. This right here is real music. This is an album that you will kick yourself for not having listened to earlier. This is Dynamite by Stina Nordenstam. Please, if you haven't heard of this, if you're not familiar with Stina Nordenstam, do yourself a favor, listen to this album. This is kind of a life-changing piece of music right here. Incredibly dreamy. It has this instrumentation with such weight to it. I think that there is life before listening and life after listening, and my life has been enriched by the discovery of this album. So listen to it. And finally, for the favorites, I have Meat is Murder by the Smiths. This is my favorite Smiths album. I like that the CD version has the 4 split instead of the 1 for the Photo of the Soldier. This is a special version. I believe this is a really old copy because it includes How Soon As Now on the track listing, which is not a part of the album's track list, I think, anywhere else. Meat is Murder, I think, is their most conceptually tight record in terms of the thematic nature of each song kind of being way more cohesive together than Queen is Dead, or they're self-titled. Like on Queen is Dead, you have a song like Frankly Mr. Shankly, and then it goes to like Never Had No One Ever. Like that's tonal whiplash. This does a much better job of keeping things together, but really poignant message about the nature of, you know, loneliness and abuse and the cycles of violence that we perpetuate as a society. And yeah, like Morrissey sucks as a person, but whatever. Johnny Marr, incredible guitarist. Mike Joyce, Andy Rourke on bass. The Smiths, man. You can't fucking hate the Smiths. I guess you can, but whatever. Lack of taste. Meat is Murder. Fred Smith's album I bought on CD too, so. I could go in depth for a long period of time about every single CD in this collection, but like I said, I mean, in order for me to do so, you'd have to catch me in between purchases because it grows exponentially, this collection. And I'm very proud of it, I'm very happy with it, and I'm listening to CDs all the time. So thank you for tuning in and pretending to give a shit. Shorts, which I've been fucking loving lately, wearing them to death. And I'm gonna go with the ripped top, the oversized muscle shirt. And I'm thinking like white sock, black loafers.
Yeah. He's going on a date.
That's
It's the date outfit.